W2AV Talk with Demetris Curry. Here's your gateway to discovering the formula to a more gratifying life with the accountability you need to start and stay energized, inspired, and on top. Author and wealth strategist Demetris Curry is a nationally leading voice and go-to authority on insurance and financial literacy. Got questions about your finances, relationships, healthy living, or professional life? W2AV talks about it all, along with tips to enhance your overall well-being. W2AV Talk with Demetris Curry.
Hello, everyone. This is Demetris Curry coming your way with W2AV Talk for yet another amazing segment. We are here today with none other than Miss LaTaunya Howard. Oh my God. I'm just so excited to have her here with us today. I mean, officially and unofficially, we are actually in the same industry of commercial real estate. And so when I had the chance to talk to her some months ago, I was like, yeah, we gotta stay connected. We gotta talk more. So I'm excited to have her here with us today, and I don't want to steal her thunder. I'm going to bring her on. We're going to talk. She is the most amazing author out there. I'm telling you, she's doing some beautiful things. I'm so excited for everything that she's doing. Wonderful author on Amazon.com. You'll be able to find her at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million with her killer book, Kill the Rent, Grow Your Biz. Oh my goodness, I'm just so excited for her. So we are going to bring her on today so we could talk more about what's going on with her as a person behind the scenes. What is it that she's trying to do to affect the community, and what made her think of this particular book to bring to the forefront and help the community in such an amazing way. So let me bring her on right now. Miss Howard, are you there?
I am here. I was just enjoying all your kind words. You don't have to stop now. You can keep going. We can just listen to you all day.
Girl, oh my God, you're doing some amazing things. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. That's so sweet for you to say. So sweet for you to say. And I'm glad that we're finally here. Like you said, we first connected a couple of months ago, and life and business happened in the interim, and we are finally here. So I'm excited.
Yes. We had a chance to talk briefly. It seemed like when we talked the first time, it seemed like I've known her for quite a while.
I felt the same way. I love your energy. You have the most beautiful energy.
Thank you so much. Tell me what's been going on in your world, and what made you bring this particular piece of work to the forefront? I mean, you're doing so much in the community. I don't want to steal your thunder. I want to be you to tell us what's going on behind the scenes. But with everything that you have been doing in the industry and the work that you do with your financial firm and as a woman-owned certified business owner, we are not very many of us out there doing it strong the way you're doing it. So I just want to give you the floor and tell us more about what you have in store.
Sure. So, ultimately for me, it's all about helping small business owners. My former life, as I like to call it, when I was a W-2 employee before I opened my own business, I worked in the financial background. I was a budget administrator. I worked at different levels of government, and that was fulfilling for different reasons. But like many people, I had an event that caused me to pivot to entrepreneurship away from the corporate world. And it was through that I discovered that I really have a joy and a passion for helping small business owners, because a lot of times small business owners think because they are small that they have to think small and they have to act small and they have to do small. And that's not the case at all. Right. And what I like most, or one of the things I like most about my core business, Howard Corporate Center, which is a shared workspace business, is that it allows small business owners to look big. They can have their own furnished office or meeting room without it costing the amount of money or requiring the investment for traditional commercial real estate. So just because you're a small business owner, you don't have to work in a coffee shop if you don't want to. You don't have to meet clients in your home because you feel you can't afford a professional place. Shared workspace levels the playing field in that regard. And that's something that I really enjoy seeing business owners realize, so that they can take themselves more seriously, have more confidence, and sign more contracts, really. And then when I wrote my book back in 2018, The reason why I decided to do that is because I realized there was a knowledge gap. The shared workspace industry has been around for decades, but it's still novel to many people.
Right.
So my first book in 2018, Kill the Rent, Grow Your Biz, closes that knowledge gap. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on it. So I'm just really excited to be able to help empower small business owners.
And it's amazing that you said that, because when I stepped out on faith and left corporate America, like you said, I too joined a joint community service where there were so many businesses into one particular building, and we were able to all sort of support each other in our businesses. And it's sort of like having a network within a network, right?
Exactly.
Well, you have all these people in all in different types of arenas and things of that nature, but you're all in the same workspace, and it gives you the opportunity to work together, to draw from each other. Say, hey, I know somebody that does that right here in my office. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And you won't believe how much business you get that way.
Exactly. It's its own little ecosystem. It's a built-in referral network, like you just alluded to. So it has a lot of benefits beyond having an affordable place to work, besides having to pay the high cost of traditional rent. A lot of ancillary benefits, just like you said. And that's one of the many things that excites me about the industry.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Now, I know you already have that going on in your area. Are you planning to expand that? Any other locations that we should know about?
I've thought about that, and that's always a possibility. But my philosophy is to diversify, expand through diversification, meaning that there are a number of different ways within the same field, within the same industry, that I can help business owners. So I started off in 2012, for example, with Howard Corporate Center. That's the shared workspace business. A
Mm-hmm.
few years after that, I got my commercial real estate license so that I can help business owners who are a better fit for the traditional commercial real estate side. So
Right.
that's another appendage, if you will, that I added.
Mm-hmm.
Then a few years after that, I wrote my first book. I also had a television show aimed at sending the same message about empowering business owners. So my philosophy more is to diversify and create more touch points within my portfolio to still support small business owners, but in different modalities.
See, I'm gonna have a problem, see, because it's like looking in the mirror.
No, that's a good thing. Looking in the mirror is a good thing, especially if you like the reflection that you're getting back.
Exactly, because I was listening to you. I was like, check, check,
Yep,
check.
yep, yep, yep.
We do have a lot of the same, attributes of what we're doing right now, which is fantastic, and that's probably why we drew so quick to close to each other. I was like, oh my gosh, she's doing the same thing. I'm gonna talk to her about this and talk to her about that, and get her ideas on, what maybe we could do different in the market and things like that. Because just mentioning commercial real estate, we are in a crazy market right now. Things have sort of changed a little bit. Rates have jumped just a little bit, and then also the valuation of properties are a lot higher right now than
Right.
they would normally would be. So, what are you seeing here in this industry right now that you think is going to really change in the months to come?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And although as a commercial real estate agent, I can help, business owners buy, sell, or lease commercial real estate, any part of the commercial real estate transaction, my sweet spot is working with buyers or tenants, those that are looking to buy commercial real estate or those who are looking to lease commercial real estate. Again,
Right.
I can help anyone within that field, and I have, but that's my sweet spot. And that's because oftentimes buyers and tenants are not represented. A lot of times when they see a property that they want to buy or a property that they want to lease, they reach out to whomever is the listing agent and they begin to work directly with them, not
Exactly.
always realizing that that person does not represent their interests. That person is loyal to the seller or to the landlord. And I think one of the things we talked about when we first spoke is how we both have a passion for educating people. That's another way that we can empower people.
That's
So one
right.
of the reasons why buyers and tenants are my sweet spot is because one, they're usually not represented, and it's an opportunity for me to educate them about the process
Mm-hmm.
and protect themselves in the same vein. To answer your question about what I believe the industry needs, we can talk about that for decades.
I told you we only have a limited amount of time.
Exactly. But I think where I focus on where I can help people is the education piece, because
Right.
even though the markets fluctuate and things change, when you're educated, you can weather that. So just because interest rates are going up, that hasn't stopped people's flow. People are still buying.
Exactly.
They are still buying, but they are educated about how to buy, about how to be smart about financing and all of those types of things. So it really comes down to education, because
Absolutely.
when you have those resources and you have a strong foundation, you can weather whatever the market is doing. That's not going to stop your flow if you're prepared for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I found is that, a lot of times when I'm on that same side of the house, I'm on the buyer side of the house. I like
Mhm.
the opportunity to let them know, hey, this is what you're looking at, but these are your choices.
Exactly.
And if you use these choices wisely, then you'll be able to see a much broader, profit span than you're anticipating. Because my side is more so investors. So
Mhm.
buyers
Mhm.
and investing in short-term rentals, long-term rentals, that kind of thing, fix and flips, etc. So it gives them that opportunity to see that they can actually make that money in advance. So yeah, educating them though is where I am.
Mhm.
You and I both are in the same realm. That's why we sit so close together. That's why I like it. And that we're able to we're able to help people in that sector and say, you know what? Forget what you just saw. Let me show you the numbers, because it's all
Exactly.
about the numbers, right?
Mhm.
And how you can take advantage of something that's going on in this market. I'm so excited that you're doing that. And are you working in any other particular areas that you're bringing to the forefront really soon for us?
You mean any other projects?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, for longer than I care to admit, I have been working on an online course. So I am determined to make that launch no later than the end of Q1 next year. So I'm working on it more
Okay.
aggressively now. So I'm excited about that. And that goes back to my point earlier, just providing a different modality, a different way to help people. So the online course is one way. And I think what I'm going to also begin doing along the lines of educating people is doing some, community seminars, just educating people,
Okay.
because there really is a knowledge gap. And I think there are some people who don't even want to entertain commercial real estate for whatever side of the transaction they're interested in, because they have a fear. And that fear just comes from a lack of knowledge. For
Right.
someone who doesn't have someone guiding them, or someone who's just never engaged in the industry before, it can be
Mhm.
very daunting. It can seem out of reach, but it really isn't. You just need
Right.
to have the resources and the information. And that's something else that I want to bring to the community as well.
Right. I remember you saying something about you wanted to do some courses some time ago. And I was like, I know she's bringing that up. When is that coming out? So that's going to be amazing
Yes.
to put that into play. Financial literacy is very big for me. And you and
Hmm.
I both have talked about this in previous conversations that, what I found in coming from banking for 25, 30 years is that there's so many areas that people don't know. And so, and a lot of times we perish due to what? A lack of knowledge, right? And we need that added information in between. So to have someone like you that's actually bringing it out, filling in those gaps and helping the community in such a special way, I'm so excited for you and very proud
Yes.
of you too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And one thing that I'll add too, and this is to you as well, I think it's not just the real estate industry, but so often people want to hold on to information, right? Because they fear that the more the public knows, the less they're going to need me, the less
Mm,
valuable I'm going to be to them. And that's a scarcity mindset. I don't mind giving people quote unquote free information, because in some ways, the less dependent someone is on me, that means I did a good job educating them,
mhm.
but I'm happy to just let people know what some of the hidden secrets are of the industry, things to look out for,
Yeah.
ways that they can really navigate the marketplace, not only on the traditional commercial real estate side, but also on the shared workspace side.
Yeah.
That's another motivation behind why I wrote my book in 2018, to give people some inside information on
Mhm.
how they can navigate the multitude of options that are in the marketplace. What types of questions should you be asking? A lot of times people just don't know what questions to ask, and they walk away with a missed opportunity to maybe
That's right.
negotiate or get a better deal for themselves.
That's right.
So that's really the spirit that I operate from How can I help people? How can I empower people? And if it means this is a person who won't convert to a client because they feel they don't need me anymore, I still feel like I've contributed something positive to the universe for them to use and maybe carry on to someone else as well.
Yeah, and by the time they finish working with us, they're like, that ain't what Miss Howard said. That ain't what Miss Curry said.
Exactly.
They're like, I know
right.
this already because she taught me this and this and this. And she told me to make sure I had this in place and that in place. And she told me that that's not a good thing to have when I'm doing a buy.
Yeah, that's right. And Demetris didn't say that either. So
she didn't say that. She told me that I need to look for this.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that, even though we went through some hardships in our corporate life, right?
Exactly.
I think you and I talked about that when you and I both have our own stories. Oh my, we can go on
exactly.
about those stories. But we had those one or two things that pushed us over the edge to say, hey, you know what? It's time for me to get out here and help my people and help minorities and to be able to tell them that they can have this and they can do this, right? So
exactly.
So we got work to do. And so this is just the beginning. I know we're going to do a part 2 on this and we're going to come back and do this again.
Yep.
So, but I just want to stop by real quick and say how much I appreciate what you're doing in the community.
Yes, well, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you again for reaching out and for the opportunity to have this conversation. If I could just do one little selfless plug for myself, I want to know where you are, how we get to you, where we find you. Absolutely. So what I was going to say, your listeners, if they like to learn more about what I do or to find out how they can download a free chapter of my first book, Kill the Rent, Grow Your Biz, go to ldhoward.com, download a free chapter. Feel free to purchase the book if you're so inclined and reach out. I would love to have a conversation with you if you're interested in non-traditional or traditional commercial real estate. Absolutely. And what we traditionally do, because we want to support our authors, we put your information on the actual video as well. So they'll be able to find you wherever you are and to follow you and to stay in contact with you. So you will have that as well. We're so excited for you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to part 2. Oh, yes, ma'am. We have to make that happen. Take a deeper dive into those pivots that we had to make. Ooh, girl, that's going to take about an hour. Okay. Be prepared. An hour and maybe a little sip of cognac too, right? Yes, ma'am. I absolutely love it. Yeah. Oh, God. Guys, I'm telling you, working with Miss Howard, she is just an amazing, amazing woman. And I'm so proud of what she's doing in this community in the U.S. abroad, because, it's so important to make sure that we stay in contact with, people that are trying to do better in their business and they're trying to learn how to get to the next level and how to scale their businesses. And so she has just been an amazing person to work with in that particular area of sector. And I'm proud of what she's doing as far as bringing the community together and showing them how they can still bring their business in a community network and still be able to learn more from each other and build each other up. It's so important to have that. So yet another amazing author on Authors Unite with us today. And I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to talk with her and to work with her. We will be talking to her again because we have more information that will be coming out, coming really soon in the new year on more financial literacy and things of that nature. So I know that we'll be chiming her in on some of that as well. So thank you so much for listening in for us today. And we look forward to talking to you with yet another Authors Unite.
Thank you for tuning in to W2AV Talk with author and wealth strategist Demetris Curry. Connect with Demetris at demetriscurry.com and subscribe to the Demetris Curry YouTube channel today.